Hi there, welcome to this video where I'm going to give you 7 ideas for resolutions to improve your photography. So what I've done in this video is I've put together 7 ideas of suggestions that you can use as New Year's resolutions to improve your photography. Now this is not a tutorial, it's just giving you some ideas. There are lots of ideas on the internet that you can go and look for, and I've also got lots of videos on my channel as well that you can check out. Now this came about because I've broken my toe, unfortunately, so I can't get out in the field. I'm stuck at home, so what I thought I'd do is I'd compile a useful list for you to think about going forward into 2023. I'm sure you'll find something useful in this video that will help you to enjoy your photography. My first suggestion for a resolution is just to get out and make the effort. And it's absolutely no use having a camera that's sat in a bag in a cupboard, because it won't help you to enjoy your photography or get any better. Now I was in this situation about 4 years ago, which is one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I'd got all of the equipment that I'd just wasn't using. I'd lost my impetus and our goal for taking photographs, and I needed something, and this channel was it. That gave me the get up and go to get out and start taking photographs again. Setting yourself a resolution to get out needs to be something that's achievable. Don't make it too onerous. If you say to yourself you're going to get out every single week or even more frequently, it might prove to be just not doable. And so make it realistic, because you don't want to put more pressure on yourself and take that enjoyment away. But that's my tip number 1. My second suggestion for a resolution is learn to use your camera equipment. Many people have lots of camera equipment that they don't actually know how to use properly. So if you're new to photography, the whole thing might seem very scary, because you've got a piece of equipment with lots of buttons that you don't know how to work, and then you've got things like shutter speed and aperture and ISO and focusing. They're all really difficult, but spending a little bit of time looking at tutorials on the internet or things on YouTube, and I've got plenty on my channel, can really help, because as you become familiar with how the camera works, it frees you up to be more creative once you're familiar with the technical aspects. Now if you're a seasoned photographer, I'm pretty sure that you'll have some of your equipment that you don't fully know how to use properly. It might be some functions buried deep within your camera, or how to use your flash gun in all different situations. I'm sure there's something that you could look to improve your skills on. For instance, I know for certain that in my mirrorless camera it will take focus stacked images automatically, and this is something I've had a go at, but I'm not fully familiar with. So if I spent a little bit more time using this function and really getting to grips with it, I'm sure I could work out all the intricacies and do a better job with it. My third resolution suggestion is to improve your editing skills. Now this is something that everybody can benefit from. Editing is something that I think every photograph needs. Now some people will say it's better to get it right in camera, but even so, you still, even if you get everything right in camera, most photographs can benefit from a little bit of tweaking once you get them into post. Now one suggestion I will make, if you don't already do this, is to make your first resolution to take photographs in RAW format, because this gives you so much more flexibility when you come to edit the photographs. If you use JPEG mode, then the camera makes a lot of the decisions for you, such as sharpening and brightness and all the kind of things behind the scenes, and it also reduces the size of the image, which takes away some of the quality. Once you take a photograph in RAW, you get much more quality, but you also get lots more flexibility on recovering shadows and highlights, and there's just so much more that you can do with a photograph once you get it into the computer. Now the downside is that you can't use a RAW image straight out the camera. It does need some kind of processing, but the control that you get is really worth it. But then also there is more you can do once you've converted the RAW file in image editing programs such as Photoshop, or with an add-on such as Luminar Neo that I use to just enhance your photograph. Now I've been using Photoshop for about 20 years and still I find new ways to edit photographs. I have even gone back to some of my very old photographs and edited those in new ways with my new skills, and found lots in my old back catalogue that I'd almost discarded, but because of my new skills I've managed to resurrect. My fourth tip for a resolution is try a new style of photography. Now many people stick with one kind of photography, which is great because if you do this you tend to become more expert in it. So if you're a wildlife photographer, you learn fieldcraft and how to get better photographs of wildlife. If you're an astrophotographer, you might build up a bank of equipment specific to that kind of photography. So as a result, you'll probably get better by doing the same thing more often. Now if you're really happy with your style of photography, then stick with it and ignore the rest of this tip. But for some people, doing the same type of photography all the time gets a little bit boring and it just feels a little bit stale. So try something new. There are so many different styles of photography, and in the process it forces you to learn new skills and think more creatively. Now it might be at the end of the day that you decide to go back to your preferred style, but you can take all of the things that you've learned along with you, and you might have a new way of thinking that you can apply to your old style of photography that will make that so much better. My resolution tip number 5 is have a good clear out. Many photographers, if you're anything like me, have big piles of photographic equipment that you don't use anymore. If I was to get everything out that I've got in cupboards upstairs, I'd probably find that there are old camera bodies and lenses and multiple tripods and boom arms and all kinds of things that have not seen the light of day for years. Now if you put all of this stuff together in a big pile and have a really good sort out and find out the things that you know you're not going to use again, then you can probably sell that equipment on and then use the money to buy some new equipment that you are going to use. Now there's lots of ways of selling your equipment. There are selling sites that will sell equipment. Sometimes there is a small fee, but if you find the right site you can do it without any fee. There are also camera sellers that have second-hand parts of their websites, so you can sell them your equipment and or buy equipment from them. And also there are dedicated camera sites. I use somewhere called mpb.com. Now I've sold them camera bodies and lenses before and they've been very reliable. It's been very useful, and you can also buy used equipment from them as well. So I'm not sponsored by MPB, but I have used them before, so I can recommend them. My resolution tip number 6 is to set yourself a challenge. Now this can be a serious one, so if you're a wildlife photographer for instance, what you could do is set yourself a challenge of trying to take photographs of birds in flight and improve that as an example. Or if you're a landscape photographer, then maybe set yourself a goal such as taking a cloud inversion. That's definitely something that I want to have a go at because I've never taken a cloud inversion before. Alternatively, you might want to do a fun challenge, such as giving yourself a topic, such as taking photographs of reflections, shadows, colours, numbers, letters, that kind of thing. Just going out into the environment with a specific topic to try and take photographs to make that topic. Now you can also layer in there some practice skills as well. So you could think about things like practicing using depth of field or focusing techniques, or maybe macro techniques. So you can join that up with your topic and get some really good practice, but in a fun way where it doesn't really matter if things go wrong. If you are interested in some ideas for challenges, I've got lots on the channel and I'll put some down below in the description. My 7th tip is to just enjoy your photography. Now, I'm assuming most people that are watching this video are taking photographs as a hobby, and if you're taking photographs as a hobby, you should really enjoy it. Now, the danger is if you start thinking about taking photographs to enter into competitions, that it can become quite onerous, and that's certainly what happened to me a few years ago. Every time I went out with a camera, before I pressed the shutter button, I was thinking about whether it would make a good competition shot, and it just took all of the fun out of taking photographs. And so now when I go out, I just take photographs for my own pleasure, and if I have some enjoyment and just have a good time walking around in the process, it doesn't matter if I don't get any good photographs. But often when I go out with that attitude, I find that I end up taking better photographs anyway, because I can be more creative. I'm not pressured in the same way, and I can just be freer. So now I base my view of photography on the pleasure that I get from it. If somebody else enjoys looking at my photographs, then that is just a bonus. My main goal is to just enjoy my photography. Well, I hope I've given you some ideas about how you can improve your photography. If I have missed anything that you can think of that you want to share with me, let me know down below in the comments. But I know in 2023 that my main goal is just going to be to get out and enjoy my photography and make videos that you will enjoy watching. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Vero account and leave me your comments there. If you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content like this, you can also visit my Teespring store. I've got lots of new designs available, so pop over there and check it out. A purchase really does help me out. And also don't forget the super thanks button as well. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live on Sunday, and hopefully my toe will be better and I'll be back out in the field. But in the meantime, you can go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.